Now let's solve intersection of two arrays. In this problem, we're given two arrays, nums1 and nums2, and we need to return an array of their intersection. The intersection of two arrays is defined as the set of elements that are present in both arrays. Each element in the result must be unique, and you may return the result in any order. So in example 1, we have nums1, which is an array consisting of 1, 2, 2, and 1, and nums2 is an array consisting of 2 and 2. So their intersection is only going to be 2, because although they want us to return all the elements that appear in both nums1 and nums2, these elements also have to be unique. So if elements appear multiple times in both arrays, we just need to return their first occurrence. And so yeah, that's basically the description of this problem. Let's go ahead and start solving it now. Oh, and before we begin, do you need help bringing a digital idea to life? From designing to developing a website or an application, look no further than Evolve Consulting. We work fast, we're affordable, and we even offer free consultations. We'll get your app running in no time. So what are you waiting for? Reach us on LinkedIn or through any of the contacts on the screen. Alright, now let's get back to the video. So like I said, since we need to return unique elements, the way we're going to ensure that we return unique elements is by using sets, because in Java, sets don't store duplicates. And so what we're going to do is we're going to create two sets. The first set is going to store all the numbers in either nums1 or nums2, doesn't really matter. And the second set, we'll call that our result set. What we're going to store in result is, well, first we're going to compare our first set, which contains either all the numbers of nums1 or nums2, to the array that we did not fill the numbers of it in within a set. So if my set contains all the numbers of num1, we're going to compare that set to the numbers within nums2 and vice versa if otherwise. And what we're going to do is we're going to loop through nums2, and what we're going to do is we're going to loop through nums2 or nums1, like I said, it depends. And for every number that we're on, we're just going to check if it exists in our set, and if it does, then we're going to add that number to our result set. And in case that number appears again in nums2, then it doesn't really matter if we add it to our set, because sets don't store duplicates. And so basically that's the gist of the problem. So let's go ahead and create our two sets. Both our sets are going to store integers. We can call this set, which is equal to new hash set. And the second set, which also stores integer, like I said, we'll call this result equals to new hash set. Now, something we need to be wary about is that we need to return an array of integers. And so after we add all our numbers to result, we're going to have to create an array of integers that has the same size as result and add the values inside result in our array. And we'll worry about that later, but for now, let's store every int number in nums1 in our set. Now let's do the comparison which I was talking about. So for every int number in nums2 this time, we're gonna check if set.contains number, and if it does, then we're going to add that number to result. Now let's create our integer array. We'll call it output, which is equal to new int, and we'll give it a size of result.size. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an int I, which is equal to 0. Basically, int I is going to be pointing at the positions in our output array, starting at the very first index or the very first element, because we want to store the results of result in our output. And so finally, for every int number in our result set, let's add to output at index I the number which we're on in our result set. Now we could either do I++ here, or to make our code just a bit neater, let's just add it here instead. They both work the same. Go ahead and do what you're comfortable with. And finally, all that's left for us to do is to return that output array. So let's submit and see if it works. Awesome. So our solution is pretty efficient. That was the intersection of two arrays problem on LeetCode. I hope you found that video helpful, and thanks for watching.